What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to continue the vibes with a series review. Now, this is my first time reading this particular author, so I'm really excited to talk about this particular author's novels that I read and what I thought of the series. It has been on my TBR for a while now. I know I saw it a lot on TikTok, like Book Talk in particular, for a while in the middle over the course of the summer. So I'm really excited to dive into these books and kind of share my thoughts and feelings about them. That being said, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome back to J Bay's Corner. If you're returning and if you're new, welcome to this little area of the internet here. I like to talk about everything book related, basically, and a little hint of travel, maybe some fun, perky, consumeristic luxury items here and there as well. But for the most part, we talk all things books. So welcome back. Welcome back. Also, I don't know if you guys can see the collection fully behind me. I know you can see a few of the shelves. There's a total of 5, so one shelf is completely cut off, and then there's another shelf in the bedroom that's just mine, and that's also full. So this year I decided, while I'm not going to necessarily limit the amount of books that I can accrue, because that would just be a cruel, unusual punishment for me, I do want to try and make it through my TBR. One author that I saw a lot of reviews on, a lot of people talking about, was Lauren Asher, which is why I wanted to do this review, because I finally decided to sit and read the Dreamland Billionaires series. Now, I got to say, I know a lot of people hated the covers, but I really like them. I think these are the special edition versions as well. And I like the fact that the print actually matches. Like, I know there were some complaints that they didn't quite match, but I do think the cursive on all of them look pretty similar. And I like the fact that all of the rest of the title is in the block letter print. So I had no issues with this series book covers per se. I think overall they look quite nice, and I like the fact that they stack very beautifully together. So that's just aesthetic appeal there. Not that that has anything to do with the quality of book. Personally, I will read anything regardless of the cover or being beautiful or not, but I will say that if the cover is beautiful, it definitely adds a perk, let's be honest. Also, I love my special editions. I don't know if you can see them kind of scattered throughout the course of the shelves, but I really, really do enjoy my special edition books. It just adds a little piece of the world and the vibe for me, and so I will be the first one to admit that I like an aesthetic bookshelf, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to read a book because I'm not going to read a book because it's not aesthetically pleasing, if that makes any sense. Anyways, that's enough of my rambling. You guys didn't come here to hear me ramble. You came here to talk about books. So let's talk about the books. So first and foremost, I read the fine print. Now, all 3 of these books, I did 100% physically read them. I did not use Audible or YouTube audiobooks or anything like that to read these. So I don't know if the experience would have been better or heightened with that on board. I did find the Spotify playlists for the 3rd book, and I was listening to that while I was reading, which I do think added a little bit of energy to the read. I have to say the fine print was quite enjoyable for me. So this book in particular kind of introduces you to the world. So without ruining too much, the reason that this book is titled the Dreamland Billionaires series, and the reason why they fall into that category, and the reason why this one's called The Fine Print, is because essentially there are 3 brothers, 3 very sullen brothers who are in their 20s who have had a very, very traumatic childhood past. They have a grandfather that they're extremely, extremely close to, who basically built an empire called Dreamworld. And Dreamworld is essentially Dreamland, which is essentially a Disney World of sorts, is the vibe that I was getting. Princess castles, and they have their own streaming service, and they're involved in everything. They have their own chefs and recipes and cooks and everything. Like, it's a whole thing, right? And it's a billion dollar company, an amusement park. So these 3 brothers are now coming to the situation where their grandfather has passed away, and they have been given fine print terms and conditions and offers, final offers, if you will, from their grandfather on ways that they need to earn their inheritance. So basically, he's not going to make it easy for them. He's not going to say, hey, here's your money, enjoy your billions of dollars and become the CEO, even though they've been trained and groomed for this. No, he's going to make it just a little bit hard on them. And so these three brothers are now dealing with the various contracts that they've been given in order to hold on to their piece of the $28 billion to be exact, inheritance. And the catch of all of this is that if all three brothers don't succeed, none of them succeed, and their shares go to their father. Why is this important? Well, their dad is a complete and total jerk. So basically, he is the type of father who was present in their very, very younger years and was fully, madly in love with their mom. Unfortunately, they lost their mom very young, and then the dad turns into a complete and total douchebag, gets into becoming an alcoholic, is very abusive, just horrible experiences with their father, which has completely traumatized all three of them. Dealing with these traumas, they have then become very closed off. They have various personality traits. Rowan being the youngest, who was the first book, he in particular feels like he can't showcase his real interests and talents because it takes away from his quality of being a man because of the things that his father has said. So his grandfather basically tells him, hey, you're going to go to Dreamland, this place that you've been avoiding ever since your childhood and this place that you hate so much, and you're going to head one of the departments there for 6 months before you can become CFO and before you can get your money. And all Rowan wants is to get his inheritance and see his elder brother Declan as CEO of the company and take on his role as CFO. Now, the only catch to all of this is he shows up to Dreamland and happens to bump into Zara, who is our main female character here, and she is not about to have it. She is going to keep him on his toes. She is also the most wonderful thing that has ever happened to him. Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Taco. Yes, you want to show everyone your butt on the internet? Is that what we're doing? Oh, okay. All right, baby girl. Well, that was Taco. Anyways, so I just totally lost my train of thought. Zara is not about to have it with Rowan. And so basically the story proceeds that the two of them are kind of at war with each other until they realize that in order to fulfill all the components of his contract, he has to create a new project that's very successful and find the weaknesses and strengths of the Dreamland amusement park, which is why he's been sent there. And so he happens to realize that Zara is exactly the type of creative mind that he needs on his team in order to make this come true. And over the course of the book, their relationship progresses. And that's basically the course of the fine print. I'm going to leave it there because all the information that I gave you is just basically light background to the beginning of the book, all things you find out within the first 3 to 4 chapters of the book. So nothing that's dead giveaway. But that being said, I thought this book was very cute. It was fun. I really enjoyed the vibes of basically being in Disneyland again. That's kind of the feeling that I got. I really liked the brothers' relationships. I do think they're like a little twisted, a little dark, but it's also very clear how much they love each other and how much they're there for each other and how they do value each other quite a bit, even though they drive each other crazy. So that was really fun to see. I think the other thing I liked about this version is Lauren Asher also added in a couple of chapters at the end, one with like a 1-year mark and then one with like a 3-year mark into the relationship, kind of showcasing what's going on in their lives and their future. So I did enjoy that. Overall, I gave this book a solid 3.5, 4 stars. It was good. It was decent. I would recommend it. It was fun, fast, easy to read. Finished it in 3 days, so like loved this book, but not quite a 5-star for me. But I would still say it was a fun read. The second book in the series is Terms and Conditions. I loved this book. By the way, Grumpy Sunshine trip, okay? Grumpy Sunshine as hardcore as it comes. fake dating trope, fake marriage trope, all of the above. And on top of that, grumpy sunshine. And I loved this book. I loved it so much. So this book is basically following Declan. Declan is the elder brother of the three brothers. He's kind of taken on the responsibility of being the one who has to beat out his dad, become CEO of the company, and secure the futures for himself as well as his siblings. He's cold, he's ruthless, he drives everybody insane, but he's brilliant, right? In comes Iris. Iris has been his secretary for years. She's also best friends with his middle brother, Cal, who we'll get to in just a second. And she is a hoot. She's a hoot. I also love the fact that all these characters struggle with some type of difficulty. In this one, Iris actually struggles with a learning disability, which she overcomes, which is really beautiful to see. And the other thing that I really loved about this book is just the relationship between Iris and Declan. I think the reason this book also spoke to me is in Rowan and Zara's case, they were meeting each other for the first time in that book. In this book, Iris and Declan have known each other for quite some time. So as far as taking care of his needs and being the best assistant that she can be, Iris and Declan already have a relationship that's been sorted and set up. And on top of that, there's mutual respect there for each other. But Declan has never really allowed himself to cross the line of attraction or interest in Iris. Now, his clause is a little interesting because he has to get married and have a kid in order to secure his role as CEO. And so there are multiple contracts that have been drawn up. He has tried finding a bride for hire, essentially, and people have scared her off. 10 guesses who. And so Iris is like, well, we've tried everything else, I guess marry me. And so Iris and him enter into a contractual marriage, and then it moves forward from there. Now, what I will say is overall, I think Declan's character was very fun to read because he comes off as so dark and cold. Taco, what are you doing? I just have to keep an eye on her because she recently broke a vase. So don't mind me if I get distracted by the cat in the background. But Declan essentially has like taken on the role and responsibility of taking care of his brothers. He's like constantly toe-to-toe at war with his dad, who's trying to bring him down and break him down because he really wants to be the CEO of the company and doesn't want his sons to have everything. He doesn't want to repair the relationships with his children. And so Declan constantly has pressure on him. He's also been through situations where people have used him before, so he doesn't know how to trust people. The only people he really trusts are his brothers and Iris. And so I thought this book was really fun to read because of that reason. We also got to see a lot more of the middle brother because Cal's book is the third book that came out in the series. So that was really fun to read. Excuse me for a second. Mademoiselle, what are you doing? I see you looking at my bookmarks and you're not allowed to eat them and break the cup, okay? Not allowed. Taco? Taco here will help me with the reviews. You wanna play with that? Here, you can play with that. Wanna play? Taco, taco? Taco, taco? Okay. So basically, Declan, you get a little piece of him and Iris's relationship. It's also fun to read because Cal is kind of seen a little bit more in this book. Yes, goofbutt. Can you see how distracting this cat is? I mean, she's a cutie pie, but she's also very needy. Yes, you are needy. What makes you think you're not? My needy little padoosh. So Declan and Iris, like they have like a great camaraderie, but their relationship is really cute to see because it evolves throughout the course of the book. And it's just fun to see Declan like kind of showcase his emotional side as he tries to win over Iris over the course of the book. And it's also fun to see Iris and Cal's relationship, which continues to stay strong as they remain best friends in spite of Iris and Declan's ongoing concerns about their relationship. So I think overall this book was very pleasant to read. It was a lot of fun. I also loved Iris's family. That was really fun to read. I think overall, like, it was just a pleasure to read this story. Based on the ranting that I'm doing right now, I think you can probably tell this was a 5-star read for me. I really, really enjoyed Terms and Conditions. I really did. I really enjoyed the plot line. I love the story. I love the characters. I loved it. What are you doing? Just stay in one spot, please. Thank you. My little goof. Ow. You need to cut your nails. You cut your nails. Want to go bother your sister? She's 1.5 years old, guys. Does she look like she's 1.5 years old? She's so big. You're so floofy. She has way too much energy for me to know what to do with her half the time. And if you were here, you would hear that she's purring very contently. So let me see if I can hold her and pick up the book. So the last book in the series is Final Offer. Final Offer is basically following the middle child, Cal, and he is kind of the lost child of the three. This one is a childhood lovers romance novel, like second chance. Basically, Cal has struggled with addiction his whole life. He has finally gotten off of pills, but he still struggles with alcohol addiction. He has been through rehab multiple times, has battled his sobriety for years, feels like he has no real understanding of what he wants to do or who he wants to be. He's still not really taking an active role in the company, doesn't really know how to give advice or take on leadership roles or direct positions, knowing that he's going to be able to show up because of his addiction as well as his utter and complete lack of faith in himself. It's really quite tragic, Cal's story. He, at a younger age, was a very successful athlete. He was set up to go play professionally. He did, and then he has a severe injury, ends up getting kicked out, ends up developing an addiction to the pain meds while he's going through his recovery. And basically things go south from there. He has a fallout with his grandfather that never gets completely resolved. He also loses his childhood sweetheart over the course of this initial fallout that he has back when he was like in his teens. And so poor kid has just been through the ringer and hasn't really found his place with his brothers as well. His only real friend is Iris, so it's just kind of sad. Then Q and Alana, our main female lead in this book. She is basically the town's like small town quintessential vibes, very like Gilmore Girl vibes in that regard. She wants to be a baker. She's a single mom. She has the entire town wrapped around her little finger. They all love her to death. They hate Cal because he hurt her. And Cal's job is to basically go back to this small town where their childhood home was and sell this lake house. Only problem is Alana also owns the house. So now they have to work together and find an agreement. And they're seeing each other for the first time after 6 years. And so lots of tension, lots of frustration, lots of anger, lots of pain, lots of hurt that they're working through. Overall, I think this book was fun. I did not think it needed to be this long, so it lost a couple of points because of that for me. I also didn't necessarily love the way that Cal's addiction was handled. I think it was very, very heavily hinted how much he needed the alcohol, and then the rehab was kind of, I think, pushed through the book. I think it was rushed a little bit, which bothered me. But I do think overall the characters of Alana and Cal were cute. The only thing is, like, I really didn't care for Alana. I know that sounds unfair and harsh. A lot of you who have read this book or may want to read this book after this review will probably feel that I'm judging Alana a little too harshly, especially because she is a single mom and she's looking out for herself and her child, and she has been hurt by this man before. But I felt like she was very angry as a character, and I really struggled with that. I think I just also really struggled with her role in the sense that I feel like she was very quick to blame for someone who said that, you know, they want to be there for someone who's struggling with addiction and someone who has been through so much, and then so quickly gets irritated with him or loses faith in him or trust in him. I think it was well written. It just hit a little too close to home. I think addiction is a hard topic to discuss and to confront in a novel. And I think it's really hard to do it full justice, especially in a romance novel. I do think that what she did with her being Lauren Asher, what she did with this novel, it was well done. I think overall, like, I appreciate her writing style. No like qualms there. I just wish it had a little bit more, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I mean, read it, see what you guys think. I guess for me personally, Declan and Iris really hit home. Rowan and Zara were really cute, but if I'm being honest, Cal and Alana just didn't hit home for me. So this was a solid 3-star read. It was still fun. It was still enjoyable. I like the quirky little town. I like the Baker vibes. I loved the little girl. I thought she was adorable. You know, and I think once things started picking up in their relationship, it was cute. But even like their chemistry, the way that they get together, like everything felt a little bit forced to me, and I wasn't a huge fan. And I think the ending was just a little bit rushed for everything that we spent leading up to it. I mean, this is almost 600 pages, guys. And 600 pages, they don't really start resolving issues until like page 500. And so that really bothered me. I'm like, you're going to spend $500 pages drawing up all this drama and then all of a sudden hodgepodge throw everything together at the end. So honest to goodness review on this one, I wasn't a huge fan, but I will say that I really enjoyed Terms and Conditions, and I thought the final offer was really cute. Otherwise, I wouldn't have continued the series. Not the final offer, sorry. The fine print was really cute. And then final offer, I think, fell a little bit flat for me, but I did enjoy the ending, seeing the last 2 to 3 chapters where they kind of talk about how all the characters are faring. Don't hurt yourself. So I did enjoy that part. I did enjoy like the fact that the family kind of gets some resolution. I do enjoy the fact that, you know, they kind of grow throughout the course of all the books, and each book you kind of get to see the growth of the previous brother, and so that was nice. Like, I really liked seeing Declan and Iris's relationship through Cal's viewpoint in this one. I also really liked seeing Zara and Rowan's relationship in the second book as well as in the third book, and I really liked how Lana fit in with the rest of the family, especially since the childhood romance, so like there's some history there already. So the banter between her and the siblings and stuff was a lot of fun. I wish we got a little bit more of that. I think there was just a lot of things in this book where I was like, okay, exciting. And then just a little off mark for me, across the platform. And so I think that's the only reason why I would give this a 3-star. But overall, I would say this is a solid 4-star, like 3.5, 4-star series for me. So I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're looking for fun, fast-paced, easy reads. Like I said, this one's almost 600 pages, and I finished it in like a week. 591 pages total. And then last page of the book is 583 pages. So even with all that, like, still enjoyed it overall, and would definitely recommend. For those of you who are new to the channel, I hope you enjoyed watching this series review. And if you do enjoy bookish things, I hope to see you back here again. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and joining me. If this is your type of vibe, definitely consider hitting that subscription button and that notification bell so you're always up to date. I put up videos every Sunday and Wednesday on bookish content, and basically just love everything related to books. Love to hear your comments, love to hear your thoughts. Let me know other series you guys want me to tackle or read. I would be happy to do so. Other genres that you want me to talk about. Genres. I don't know why I say genres. Sorry, genres you guys want me to tackle. I am happy to do so. But overall, just thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for fueling this addiction I have for reading and being part of such a great reading community. Until next time, I will catch you guys later. Bye.